Good morning. Today is Tuesday, April 28th. We're going to continue our work today with planning our outline for our summary of our article that we have been reading called Lessons in Lava. So we've taken a lot of notes. Last week you were asked to go through your notes and pick out the important things, main ideas and details that you want to discuss in your summary. I also shared this with you where we took our who, what, when, where, why from our article and are going to turn that into an introduction to our article. Or I'm sorry, to our summary. So I said that scientists are studying a volcano, so that's my who, and then what they're doing. In Goma, so that's where, and then that volcano is called Nyiragongo. And then I use my some of my 5 W's to support this statement. So if I'm saying this article is about scientists studying a volcano in Goma called Nyiragongo, then I would use some of that other information saying that these scientists climb into volcanoes to collect samples and study them. So that's the what they do. And then they try to find out when the next eruption will be. So that's the why. So my introduction could read something like this. The article, Lessons in Lava, discusses scientists that are studying a volcano in Goma called Nyiragongo. The scientists climb into this volcano to collect samples and study them. The reason they're collecting these samples and studying them is to find out when the next eruption will be. So that's my introduction. Now what I'm going to do is start the rest of my outline, and we're going to use other main ideas in the article and supporting details. So I set it up as, what's the first main important idea that I want to talk about? And then these D's are those details I want to use to support them. So I'm looking for, in this particular article, probably 1, 2, and then I did 3 big main ideas to discuss after I went through my notes, and then wrapping up with a conclusion. So conclusion is just a sentence, kind of goes back to sort of like your main idea, your introduction. So when we talked about they're studying a volcano in Goma to collect samples, my conclusion says scientists risk their lives to collect lava samples to study. Because I learned in the article that it's risky and it's dangerous as these scientists are climbing down into these volcanoes with this toxic gases and the heat and the steep sides and these lava lakes at the bottom that are real high temperatures. So that's how I got to my conclusion. So one thing that I would like you to do today, and then this work will not be due until Thursday, is to kind of plan an outline of your summary. So, and then you can choose to do it however you want to do it. This is just one example of how to do that. But this is kind of like your pre-writing before we write our final draft. So what I did to get my first main idea that I'm going to share with you is I went through just the first page of my notes. And I had already highlighted some important things. So some of the important things I highlighted were that this was about Nyiragongo, and it's one of the most active volcanoes in the city of Goma. And when it erupts, the city is in danger, and that scientists worry about it erupting because it causes so much damage and it can destroy the city. And then there was some information about lava lakes and a little bit about how what causes an earthquake or how an earthquake happens. But as I read the whole article, I realized that's not really what the main focus of this article was. It was more about the scientists and their study and how they collect those samples and why they're collecting those samples. So I left that part out about the Earth's plates and floating on a mantle, and when those plates shift, it can create an eruption. I left that out. So I took that information that I had highlighted on these 2 pages, and I came up with my main idea statement of, and again, this is going to be put into complete sentences when I write my final draft, but this is just an outline and notes. So what I came up with is that this is about this active volcano, Nyiragongo, in Goma. So I might say as a sentence starter, there is an active volcano named Nyiragongo in Goma that scientists are worried about. And here are my details to go along with that. It's one of the most active volcanoes. When it erupts, the city of Goma is in danger, and scientists worry about it erupting again. That's why they're going to study it. So this would become kind of one paragraph. And then the next thing I did, which I'm going to ask you to continue to do on your own, is I looked at my next page and my set of notes and came up with kind of a main idea statement and then a few details that I wanted to include. And then again, for my final paragraph. You don't have to include everything. A summary does not include everything. It's a brief statement or writing based on what this article is all about. So please don't feel like you have to include every single detail in your writing. I picked and chose which ones I wanted to use. So you don't have to include all of them. So what I would like you to work on today and tomorrow is getting an outline similar to this of what you're going to include in your summary. And then on Thursday, you're going to submit that to me. We do have a Zoom meeting Wednesday at 12:45. I will post the information for that so you can join, and we can, if you have some questions about this work, we can go over and share information and you can get some clarification. And then, yeah, I will look for this completed on Thursday, and then I will let you know the next steps from there. All right. Hope you have a great day.